Hey, Vortex! So, I've been crying for like the better part of this journey home. I'm just really, really sad. Obviously, yeah. Well, you know, sometimes you cry because you're so happy, right? Tonight's not one of those nights. You know, I think that you chose the wrong hand to hold the camera. I did. I most definitely did, but it's whatever. What can you do? Holy shit. Did y'all hear that? God. Well, you should probably check Fiona and make sure she's okay. Since it sounds like you just hit a lead pipe or some shit. Yeah, I have no idea what I just hit. There's something in the road that I wasn't paying any attention to, apparently. Imagine that. Well, I started crying because I was thinking about my friend Terry, the guy that I told you about, who's a compulsive liar and a heroin addict. The last time I saw him, he looked really, really terrible. And I was just thinking, that's probably the last time I'm gonna... It's probably the last time I'm gonna see him. That's always what I think when I see him. See, this other friend of mine is like going through kind of like a nasty divorce right now, and Department of Child Services showed up at his fucking house, and he's got 5 kids. I'm just worried. I'm worried for all my friends. You know, maybe I should stop, like, befriending people that have so many fucking problems. Maybe that's my problem. It's that I don't know anybody with their shit together. Well, you don't have your shit together, so that's probably why you attract them. I just feel like everything's about to end. And there is a part of me that is like stoked about it. But there's another part of me that's incredibly sad. And this is that part. A common symptom of borderline personality disorder is crying fits. I am just really sad, though, about everything. just seems like this world is just so fucked. Like, America aside, this world is just on its way out. And sometimes I have hope, when I talk to younger people, because it seems like they didn't anticipate there being, like, a vast amount of young people that reject technology and reject medication and reject this idea that they're a victim or reject this idea that they're this or that, So, that's good, but is it enough to save the world? Probably not, So, it's really disheartening to think about. Like, I was thinking about, conservatism, and I don't know what is worth conserving at this point. I mean, I don't know very many people that have, stable relationships. I'm not saying they don't exist. I mean, some people have really, really nice families, and it just seems like there's so much out there that isn't in favor of, a strong family unit. And, I don't know, this just makes me really, really sad. And, I don't even have, a family of my own, Maybe that's why I'm crying, too. I don't know. But I'm just gonna miss Terry. I've known him for a few years now. He's been on all kinds of shit. Now he's just strictly on heroin. I thought he was on meth, but he's on heroin. That motherfucker didn't have a childhood. His parents were drug addicts. And they both died from their addictions. And then his grandfather raised him, and his grandfather just beat the fuck out of him day after day. So, when you have, a non-existent childhood, it kind of sets you up for failure later on in life. It really does. Having a good childhood is so important. I'm sorry, y'all. I just felt like I should film this to show you that this is what it's like sometimes, to have this illness. It's like going through the motions, you just feel a lot all at once. That's okay, though. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I wasn't showing you this so, oh, look at me, I'm sad, It's just part of it. But a lot of my apathy comes from that. I care so much that I have to turn into a nihilist, or I just go fucking apeshit because, I can't do anything about my friends on heavy drugs. I can't do anything about the government possibly scooping up my friends' kids and putting them in an abusive house. I can't do anything about the this world turning to shit. I can't do anything about my general manager just being a fucking shit manager and chasing all the really good employees out of the store, you know? Like, there's so much I can't do. I just pray. And people think that's fucking stupid, but it's like, well, if it calms me down somewhat and I'm not, like, hyperventilating because of all the shit that's out of my control, then I'd say that prayer's a really fucking good thing, bitch. You know, I don't understand. See, all this anger, like, this anger comes from, like, this real extreme sadness. So I'm really, like, not sad about me, though. That's the thing. I used to be so depressed just thinking about myself, but I'm like, what have you got to be depressed about? Like, you get to wake up every day and create and talk to yourself and live in your own little world. Everybody else is stuck in this one, you know? Or they're stuck in the Twitter sphere, you know, or the narcissism of you know, Facebook and Instagram and all that. Like, I realized that, you know, I didn't have to do that. And a lot of people don't know that they have an option. So it's like they continue to do the very thing that's making them so depressed. I mean, that's why I say we're doomed. Because there aren't enough people that realize that. They don't know that they have a choice. It's like we live in a free country, right? Right? Okay, well, so many people act like they're slaves. Like they're slaves to their pharmies, they're slaves to technology, they're slaves to this idea that they're a victim all the time. They're slaves to their identity. They're slaves to the way that other people perceive them. It's like they can't get out of this mindset that like everything else is controlling them, you know, and I think that that's why people get addicted to drugs, is because they feel like they're in control. But, you know, clearly that's not true, but I get it. I mean, I remember a long time ago, I was at an AA meeting, and this friend of mine said that when a regular person drinks alcohol, they feel like they're losing control, like if they drink too much. But if an alcoholic drinks alcohol excessively, they feel like they're gaining control. So that made a lot of sense to me. I heard a lot of stuff in AA that made a lot of sense to me, and I know that I said a lot of stuff that made sense to other people, but I guess the whole group think will never make sense to me. Like, I guess it's like comforting to some people to think like, oh, he's just like me, you know, because, you know, we have this similar problem, but that doesn't comfort me at all, because I always have the opposite reaction of like everybody else. But where the fuck? You put your bags over there already. Oh, okay. Shit. I have a lot of stuff to do, and I feel like that's why I ended up talking to my coworkers / friends, because let's face it, I don't really get much of an opportunity to hang out with people outside of work. And so, like, That's why, like, you find all these employees, like hanging out outside of work, like, it's like that pretty much every restaurant, I've noticed. It's like you get tight with... Yes, it's always 420 at this house. But, yeah, you get tight with your coworkers, and then, like, they turn into your friends and your family, pretty much, because you see them more than you see, you know, your loved ones. And like, even on your days off, you end up hanging out with your fucking coworkers. But it's like that at Boom Boss, too. Like, everybody hangs out. I mean, I don't really hang out with them. I mean, I like all the people I work with over there, but, like, I'm not really, like, as much a part of the whole scene because I'm only working there 2 days a week. But I'm sure if I up my hours over there, it would probably be different. But what are you looking for? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. But yeah, we were talking about drugs for a long time. Well, we started talking about trannies, and then it ended up talking about drugs. But see, if you talk about transsexuals, that's one hell of a can of worms. So, that's an extended conversation. But, psychology is interesting to talk about anyway, but, especially in relation to drugs, because it's just, you don't find, like, you know, healthy people, you know, doing, like, crystal meth and shit like that. You know, you just don't hear about that. You don't. But I am kind of alarmed as to, like, how many people I work with are on coke. Like, they ask me for it sometimes. And I'm like, you guys know that I hate this drug, right? Like, I absolutely hate crack cocaine. Mainly because of, like, how many people I know whose lives have been completely destroyed by it. But I know that, like, you don't have to destroy your life on drugs. It's just a lot easier to do that than not do that. You know, because, you know, for every, you know, large group of people that are addicted to a substance, there's always going to be, like, that person that, you know, they can handle their shit. And it's not like I think that they should, I don't really know, like, what can you do about a drug problem? Like, people are going to do stuff, whether it makes logical sense. People are going to do stuff, whether it's legal or illegal. People are going to do stuff, you know, regardless of, like, how terrible it is for them or how addictive it is or how they'll, you know, completely ruin their life because of it. So, I really do think, though, that the whole, like, war on drugs bullshit. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. Oh. Anyway, the whole war on drugs bullshit. I feel like a lot of the reason why they've made drugs illegal is so that they could take people's kids, because they know damn well that a lot of people, especially people that are in the projects, are not going to be able to pass the drug test. So, and I guess that's what concerns me about my friend, because, like, it's like he smokes weed, which stays in your system for a while, but it's like, if you think about it, I think a lot of the reason why people get addicted to, like, this harder stuff is because of the fact that marijuana stays in your system for, like, over a month. Like, it's so much harder to get clean off of marijuana than it is to get clean off of, like, you know, crack cocaine or crystal meth. So it's like if you want to get high, but you don't want to smoke weed because it, stays in your fat cells or whatever the fuck it does in your stomach, then, you'll do something that leaves your system within like 2 days. And I mean, I guess if like you know what you're doing, then it could probably leave your system even faster than that. So, I don't know. I'm just worried, man. I feel like my friends have way bigger problems than I've ever had or probably ever will have because, they have kids and I don't. I guess it concerns me that they're not anywhere near as upset as I am over here, but I just want people to do better. That's really, really what I want. I want people to do better. That's generally what I want for like all of the world. And what really bothers me is that a lot of people in this world are like pretending that they want what's good for society, but they clearly don't. It's very narcissistic. It's very they're projecting. That's what they're doing. Because they can't fix themselves, and so they're trying to fix everything else that they find objectionable. Because clearly they don't find anything that they say or do objectionable, I'm sure. Sure, they're the second coming of Jesus Christ. All of them. Every single one of them. They all have their own separate cross. But, the Jesus Christs. It's like a fucking... It's like a band or something. It's like the polyphonic spree. Do you guys know about them? I don't know if they're still around, but they were a band for a little while. St. Vincent. Annie Clark of St. Vincent used to be in that band. It's basically like a cult. It's like a cult band. They all wear capes and shit, but it's like 30 of them. Their music's really good, though. Not knocking them. I don't think it's such a bad of an idea for a band to, essentially be a cult. Like, people are confused. Like, is this a cult or not? But if I ever started a band, it would probably be exactly like that. Minus the capes. But, yeah. Hello. Hi. Hey. Paisley. Come back. They want food, and they're not going to shut up till they fucking get it. Right. Dude, I feel high right now just like looking at these lights. Isn't that crazy? Look. Don't y'all feel high just looking at that? Psychosis, though, man. Like, that's what you're experiencing. Like, that's why you feel like you're in a euphoric state. But, like, you're clearly not, but... Look, man. Look at what she's doing. She loves Fiona. Like, she gets inside Fiona all the time, too. Hey, Paisley. Watch her. Watch her do this shit. She'll fucking jump up there. Hey, are you gonna get up there? No? Sometimes she gets up there. It always freaks me out when she does because I'm worried that she's gonna, like, break the garage door. Or whatever the fuck that thing is. Does anybody know what that's called? Help me out, Vortex. Help me out. Now, I know you guys must be wondering, why the fuck do you have a Rent poster? Why the fuck do you have Rosie the Riveter? I thought that you were conservative. I am somewhat, but I had my little fibrile phase, okay? And honestly, I know this sounds lame, but like Rent has inspired me more than a lot of things. As cheesy as that musical is, and it's totally like a virtue signaling, you know, just fibrile gobbledygook, but whatever. It's still good. It's still good for what it is. It's great. But the whole rock opera thing, that's cool. Like, I think that I do that. I think that's where I got the idea from. So, you know, there's no point in me knocking that play if it inspired me, even if I don't necessarily agree with the message of it. You know, like, let's talk about AIDS. That seems to be the message. But I think the message of Rent was more about love. Like, it was just obnoxious. Like, pretty much like all the characters in that musical, aside from like the one motherfucker that actually died of AIDS, like literally all the characters aside from Angel, pretty sure that's why that was his name, all those characters are just so narcissistic and they're so self-obsessed and annoying, but it's still a very catchy musical though. I still get it stuck in my head and I still can recite it verbatim. So, that's pretty cool, I guess. But Rosie the Riveter, she's still cleaning and cooking. Yeah, man, she's totally wearing a one of those like cleaning rags on her head, like, you know, like, I'm cleaning now. This is my my little hair wrap when I clean. You know, everybody has one of those, you know. But no, that was propaganda though. It's surprising that you have propaganda from like, what was it, World War II? I don't even remember. I should know this, but I don't. At least not right now. But yeah, total propaganda. But I mean, I like the message of it. Like, yeah, women are strong. We're so strong. No, it was really about like women remaining strong even though their husbands were fighting the war, you know? The war that we, you know, totally needed to be involved in because, you know, the United States has to rise above. So, you know, so many people, they think that they like the idea of like imperialism, I guess. I don't really understand that. That's not to say that I think that all the nations are equal to each other. That's obviously not true. I don't think that anybody in this country in their right mind would want to live in Saudi Arabia, but I also don't think that it's like America's responsibility to like take care of a bunch of other shit, you know, like if a country actually bombs us, that's like a little different. But I don't know, man. Our use of the atomic bomb was totally wrong, totally immoral. There's a lot of technology out there that we should not be in possession of. A lot of like destructive stuff that we should not be in possession of. And don't think I'm talking about firearms, but there's so much stuff out there that just, it shouldn't exist. But it does, you know, and if it exists, then people are going to use it to somebody else's detriment. And unfortunately, you can't really do anything about that, you know, because technology is going to keep advancing. People are going to keep, you know, inventing shit that's just terrible, terrible, terrible for the human race. And they want to make money, right? Schmuckerberg. It's all about money. And now, like, corporations just run everything. And I think that they greatly influence, our daily lives and the way that we behave. And like it's more of a perception of reality that it's influencing, like advertising, like it's not just like, oh, we want you to buy our product. It's like, no, we want you to see the world the way that we want you to see the world. Communism. Anyway, there's just so much shit, you guys. So, abandon all hope, ye who enter here. It sucks, but, what can you do? I just keep praying. This world has nothing for me. I think I've mentioned that, but can't stress it enough. Come on. Come on. Don't you love that beautiful purr? I can't really do it. I can do like a scary. I used to do that when I was a kid and like really freak people out. That's a really scary sound. You sound like a fucking drill. Yeah, see? Tonight's one of those nights where you just make weird-ass noises that freak people out and make yourself laugh. I love making that noise because it reminds me of a horse. That sound that they make with their mouths. Like, I don't know if it's because they're frustrated. That's probably not the case, but they make that. You know what I'm talking about? I can't do it, though. I can't do it when I want to do it. Only when I'm actually frustrated. But you guys know the horsey sound. But yeah, this video is going to cut me off soon. Bye!